My name is Daniel Davis. I'm the truss manufacturing manager here at Alpha. The piece of equipment you see behind me is called the Mytek Ranger. It is what picks up each individual board and loads it into the saw. The gantry crane you see is red. It comes down, it has a vacuum, and it basically picks up the board and rolls it down to the end and loads it onto the deck of the saw to be cut. The Mytek blade saw is a linear saw designed to cut all cuts for the truss on one pass. So as the board is loaded onto the deck, it will check it for crown and then load it into the line for the saw. It's been pushed in by a gripper, and then each cut is made on the end of the board and pushed further into the saw. The saw can move and cut at the same time, allowing us to cut longer, shallower angles than most truss departments. We can actually cut 6-8 feet on a single board in a long line, and allowing us to get shallower cuts for attic rooms, scissor trusses, things like that. Allows us to more easily match up to hand framing or existing houses that are on the market. Our Mytek blade saw has been configured with a outfeed conveyor for scrap lumber. We've actually dug ours out into the ground so that our saw sawyer can walk over them without having to interfere or walk around it completely. It allows us to get rid of any scrap lumber into a hopper and get it out pretty efficiently. The Mytek blade saw we have here is configured with the CDS conveyor delivery system. We have ours configured with two what we call jigs, essentially build stations. We can cut for both jigs or build stations at the same time. We can work for one or the other. It allows us to build a variety of trusses at the same time or optimize or prioritize jobs ahead of each other. The CDS delivers boards to each build station as they're needed. It's a cut-on-demand situation. So as the builders finish the first truss, the second one has already been delivered, and so on and so forth. Each truss design that we draw up has specific plates required for each job. We stock 3 different plate grades. We stock a 20 gauge standard, a 20 gauge high strength, and an 18 gauge high strength plate. So each joint will have different requirement for the number of teeth into each board, and that's what determines the plate size. The truss table here in our shop is what Mytek calls their wizard system. It's a set of automated pins that come from the truss design itself. So when we send a job out to the saw into the table, we can automatically move those pins to the perimeter of the truss, and then the boards push up against it. So it gives us a hard stop to put the truss up against, gives us sort of a frame for the puzzle that we're building. Each truss is assembled by hand by our builders. Boards are removed from the CDS, placed on the table against the wizard pins. After they are laid out, the truss boards are laid out, each joint is stapled together to hold them together during assembly, and then plates are tacked on the leading edge of the plate. Once the plates are tacked on top and bottom, the roller on the table will roll across the table and smash the plates down. Essentially seats them about 2/3 of the way so that the builders can then handle the truss without it falling apart. After the truss is completed, the rollers on the table, the lifters will lift the truss off the table and send it on to the final rollers. Final rollers will push it down to the finish roller, where the plates will be completely seated into the wood. After the finish roller, the trusses continue to roll outside the building, where we have a horizontal stacker. The stacker is essentially 2 large forks, similar to a forklift, that can lift and stack each truss onto a pile. Once the trusses are stacked, the guys outside will square them up, band them, mark them. That stack will be moved to the yard in preparation for a loading truck.